Alright, so here we are. We're working on number 6, which is graphing the two equations on the same coordinate grid. Um, we got our two equations in the y equals mx plus b form, which I hope you guys are already familiar with. And we got some big numbers. We got 500, 250, and we got like really small numbers like 0.5 and 3. Okay, and so on my coordinate grid, I chose to have each line represent 50. And so going up the side here, it goes up to 500. The bottom also is going up to 500. It goes up quite a bit. I use those big numbers because my y-intercept here on my left one is 500. And speaking of y-intercept, why don't we just plot that one real quick. Here, I will even put it in green because green sounds great. So here, except green's probably a bad color. Here, let's make it blue. Blue is good. Yeah, blue's better. Okay, so our first equation here, the left side one, we got a y-intercept of 500. Put a dot there. Okay, now I need to, when you're graphing, you just need 2 points. If you have 2 points, you can graph the whole line. Well, I need to get another point, which means I need to start plugging something in for the x. 3, if I were to plug like x equals 1, that'd be really difficult to deal with. I recommend plugging in something like x equals 100. And if I plug that into x here, that means when I do 3 times 100, 3 times x, I'm going to get 300. So if you do 500 minus 300, you get 200. So here at 100, x, my function value, my equation value, is going to be 500 minus 300, which is 200, which is right here. So now that I got my point here, I can just draw my line. Oh crap, that's not in the right direction. My line. That's not going the right direction. It's so hard to draw straight lines. It really is. But I go something like that. Make sound effects. It helps. So there's my line. You just need 2 points. We're going to do the same thing with the other one. And let's make this one yellow or orange. No, we'll just make it red. It's okay. It's got a y-intercept of 250, so I'm going to put a dot there at 250, right on the y-axis. And let's do x equals 100, and we'll put that in right there. If you do 0.5 times 100, that's 50. So we got to do 250 minus 50, which is just 200. So here at 100, we only had to go down a little bit. We had to go down that far. And once you got those 2 points, you can draw a line that goes through them. I like to just make mine go both directions, and I wish I could draw straight. That'd be really handy, but I don't have my straight edge with me, which is really unfortunate. So it's going to look crappy like this. And ta-da! We got them on the same grid due to clever choosing of big numbers, like 100 and 500. On to the next one. Where do these two graphs intersect? What does this point represent? Well, they intersect, it looks like right here, which is the point. Remember, points have 2 parts. The x part, which in this case is 100, and the y part, which is 200. So this is going to intersect at 100, comma, 200. Ta-da! And remember, this is cents, by the way. Or, oh, just kidding. This is, what am I talking about? Yeah, this is cents. So this is like, no, what am I even talking about? It has nothing to do with cents. This is talking and texts. So if you were to talk for 200 minutes and you texted you sent 100 text messages, at this point, both of the plans would cost exactly the same. So remember, where's our information here? Text messages are the x, and voice minutes are the y. So if y is 200, you talk for 200 minutes. If x is 100, you sent 100 text messages. This point represents where the two plans would be exactly the same price. Okay? You'd cost the same at that point if this is all you did. which I know none of you guys would ever do, but that's what happens. Alright. 8. Which plan would you choose? Why? Use mathematical reasoning in explaining your choice. Personally, I hardly ever talk on the phone, so I would go with plan, because I can spell plan. Plan B, because that's the text a lot plan. I'm just going to say my reasons rather than write them down. I would choose plan B because I send more text messages. And so, since, much like we did on part 1 here, we found out that on plan B, you can send 500 texts in a month. If you were to look at the number of texts you could do in a month with plan A, you can only send like 1/3 the amount because it costs 3 times as much per text message. And since that's the case, I would go with plan B, because with plan A, my text message dollar amount would be 3 times as much. And I really don't talk on the phone that much.